All right, what's up, YouTube? You guys, I had this live scheduled early today, and I was getting alerts on my phone because it was thunderstorming. The alarms were going off outside. It was a mess. So I was like, man, I got to do this live. And I didn't know if the cable was going to, or the internet was going to cut off. So I said, you know what? Okay. So I'm sitting down, watching shows, instantly went to sleep. When it's raining outside, I immediately goes to sleep. It's just something about the rain. I don't know if it's for you or you deal with that, but when it's like raining outside and you hearing the thunder, you hearing the alarms, like the I guess tornado warning alarms, it just had me like, and I went to sleep. I was so into it. I said, man, I'm going to sleep. I'm tired. I'm going to sleep. And I did exactly that. So we are here with another episode of the Wiley Show. I want to definitely shout out my people. Sequi, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Is it Sequoia? Hey. DD Rich Girl, hey. Chucktown QT, hey. Asian, hey. Crystal, hey. Hey, everybody. I'm going to wait till the people get enough time for the people to come on in the room. We're going to just dive into it because I have so many other videos to do. I want to say shout out to Xscape and SWV. So one of my subscribers put me onto the show, and I'm such a fan of Xscape. I'm such a fan of SWV. Been a fan for them for years. My mother is a fan of those groups. And so I decided to go and check out both, to check out this reality show. So I'm looking at it, and from my eyes of a fan, and I'm like, I need a show. This is going to be boring. Like, come on. Like, ain't nobody really checking for them reality show wise. And boy, was I pleasantly wrong. So I'm listening to this show, and I'm watching the show, and I'm seeing SWV and Xscape. I'm seeing SWV side. They're doing great. Coco and them doing good. They're talking to their family. They're speaking to their family. They loving their family. They're good. Not so much for Xscape. Xscape, the group can't get along. They're about all setting together to doing this grand show with Xscape and SWV because they did such a great job on Versus Battle. And so the word was out, y'all should do a co-collaboration tour. Like both groups come together. So you see in episode 1 and 2, you see that Xscape just don't have a problem. You see Tasha just immediately over it. And she just going in. It was like, is everything okay, Tasha? Tasha said, no, some unresolved issues that she want to resolve. Here she is, she dissing Kandi, saying that Kandi came out with her debut album and messed up her release for her album. I was able to go watch Kandi's show. So before I do the live, I was able to get some more history or some more context to what was going on. So apparently Kandi was trying, she was on a group, Xscape. They won their third album. With their third album, they were trying to negotiate more money. But Tasha decided to say, hey, I want to go solo. So according to Kandi, that hurt their chances of getting more money because the label was like, well, we're not paying y'all more money because this group is just not going to last long. This group not going to last because Tasha's talking about doing her solo project. So it was a deal that was negotiated that Tasha would get her solo project. And Kandi felt that the third album was setting up Tasha's solo album. Typically, what she said, when they would go to the studio, it would be all group members laying down their vocals and stuff. This particular time, all of the songs pretty much centered around Tasha. And they used Kandi voice because Kandi got a very distinct voice in the studio. and so they use her voice in there. This is such an issue and it's such a problem that went on. So Kandi decided, she was running low on money. She was close to broke, that she wanted to go and be a solo artist. So she started to shop. Her and Tiny, apparently they was shopping a deal because they was going to do a duet, an album of a duet. And the label was not feeling it, the album, the duet at all. So Kandi decided to go with a solo project. But she did tell Tiny, say, look, they offered me a solo project. I need to take it. I ain't really got no money like that. I'm broke. Even though Tiny was upset about it, she understood why she made that decision. So then it gets to, the whole deal of, did she stop Tasha's project? She said no, because my project was on a whole nother label. I believe she said Columbia. It was on a whole nother label, Sony or whatever. And her label was So Def. And she kept reiterating that your album, Tasha, if you have a problem with me putting out that you felt like your album got shoved, go to Jermaine Dupri. And so one of Kandi's producers was like, well, did the album ever come out? Kandi said no. But she kept reiterating that she need to go check with So Def. And then people were saying, oh, she got her album out before that because she was sleeping with Jermaine Dupri. She said at that time, she wasn't even communicating with Jermaine Dupri. And that if she was sleeping with, when they were sleeping together, how did that stop her for getting her album out? Like, come on. You still were able to get a deal. So we see that in this conversation, you see this stuff going on. Then Kandi was like, Tasha was upset that it came out that she was stealing money. Come on. Oh my guys, let me get to my notes here. Because I want to make sure we do it in here for a second. To make sure we get it in here. Give me 1 second. So, okay, that LaTocha was accused of stealing Tamika's money. Now, Kandi said, well, Tasha wanted to make it seem like it was a Kandi versus Tasha situation because she wanted to distract from her stealing money, her husband stealing money. Now, Kandi broke down about the stealing the money because everybody kept saying, how was she able to steal this check? How is this possible? Well, it was an organization that artists typically use now that started in the 2000s to sign people up to get their royalty checks. So Tiny Mother signed a group up to get the royalty checks. So Tiny Mother was calling around the group, saying, hey, did you receive your check? Kandi received her check. Tiny received her check. Tasha received her check. But when she called Tamika was like, no, I have not received my check. So they did an investigation and find out somebody was signing Tamika's name and cashing Tamika's checks. So then also you have to understand that those checks that they were cashing, she still yet had to pay taxes on those checks, and the tax bill kept going up when it came to a situation like that. That she took, and that's I'm going too far, but okay. So someone took this. This is weird. This is really, really weird. Tamika's checks, and they were cashing Tamika's checks. Okay, they were literally cashing her checks without her permission. And the person that did it, I'm gonna say allegedly, like Kandi did, it was Tasha's and her husband were cashing Tamika's checks. Tamika didn't say anything about it. She kept it hush hush. And that's pretty much what happened. So Kandi was saying that make sure y'all buy, Tasha's album because I'm tired of her blaming me for her failures. Every time she had a failure, she's blaming me. Every time she ain't get a win, she's blaming me. Anytime her album might come out, she's blaming me. So I'm so tired of people blaming me, and it makes me irritated when they're just blaming this whole Kandi piece. Now, she even, Kandi was like, this really happened to her. Somebody really did steal her money, and that Tamika is not lying, and that, Tamika has been keeping quiet for years. I've been taking up for Tasha for years when things been going wrong. So I had the pleasure of going over there to Tamika's YouTube channel. By the way, beautiful daughters that she had by far. Beautiful daughter. So she was explaining the whole thing about, so before we get to it, it was a whole storyline that Tasha felt like Tamika was body shaming her because apparently they had a show and they left Tamika, and Tamika just went off in a group text and she made it say, if you had a butt to kiss, and so Tasha felt like she was body shaming. So now we get to Tamika. She do a live. She do a live on YouTube. She have a YouTube channel, Tamika Scott. Okay. So she doing her live and she was like, well, let me give you the history. She talked about the stolen check. She did not want to bring it up. She tried to have a conversation with Tasha. Tasha refused. And then when it was time for the cameras, she decided. So her mother called and said, hey, she told what's going on with y'all to the TV people. And Tamika was like upset about that. Like, why are you telling the TV people? And we haven't talked. I don't want this to play off on television. So that situation happened. Then Tamika really talk about how she wasn't really talking about her sister negatively in a group text, because it's just group text. It got all the employees. Her text was directly towards the road manager and her employees. And what I believe the road manager is Tasha's assistant now. So she was just talking to them. But Tasha came out and said, wow, you did this, you're wrong. You body shaming and stuff like that. Tamika said she always felt that her mother always takes sides to Tasha, always take Tasha's side. She felt like it's a 2 against 1. I clearly saw that when I was watching an episode and they were in Tamika and Tasha's home, and it was just really, really toxic. Like, you can just tell that the mother wasn't being neutral, that she was taking Tasha's side. And the mother, I do believe that the mother allegedly said, hey, she probably need that money. But her probably needing the money, you cannot steal nobody money. And then, like they were saying in the show, Tamika was like, listen, I can still press charges on you because you did this crime. And the only reason why she didn't get her money back is because you must press charges to get the money back. So that was the only reason why she did not get her money back, because she did not want to press charges on her brother-in-law and sister, because she said that's wrong. So we hear this situation, and I can clearly see the mother was upset. Then the mother was like, y'all get out of my house right now. Get out of my house. Turn the cameras off. So they was outside. Then she telling them, get out of my property. Get off my property. Turn the cameras off. Because apparently Tamika and Tasha's mother did not want this fallout to be on camera. Clearly it was real. Now, mind you, when I go back to Kandi review of the show, she said, hey, she thought that the show was going to be Tasha and Kandi battling. She didn't know that it was going to turn into a family feud. Now, I reached out to both sisters. I want to have a conversation with both sisters. I want to be neutral with both sisters. But why I'm being neutral, I'm still going to be a little biased, because I do believe someone stole Tamika's checks. And I do believe it was her sister, because her sister probably knows the social security number. She probably knows her sister's signature. I do believe that. And then Kandi was saying that it has been other shady dealings with Xscape. And she said, if we ever get a movie, I will discuss it in the movie. So I'm hearing this being played out in this situation. Now, mind you, SWV, they're doing good. Coco and her son, which I feel like he needs to stop wearing all them nails and makeup. That ain't my business. That they were actually doing all type of stuff. And okay, it's all lovey with SWV. I mean, they showing their family, no drama. Xscape got all the drama. The checks apparently was $35,000 when it came to the check. Now, when it comes to Tasha's husband, he was accused of threatening, and Tamika talk about this. Tamika, like, keep my name, or I'm gonna have to see some or something. He said he threatened her, and so Tamika was like, "Why does this man threaten her?" And then she talk about how they used to do R&B divas, and how Nicole Gilbert or something like that, how he threatened her husband, and she said no show is worth losing my husband, and that she said that Tasha's husband is a bully. You clearly can see it. And also, they focus on how when she said Tasha was looking like a deer in headlights, and how her husband was whispering things in her ear. So you clearly see that the husband is very toxic. And I always talk about weak men. I always talk about women as well. When you lose your identity, when you're following a no good trifling man, when you are the breadwinner, it shouldn't be that you're the breadwinner and that man's still dictating your life. Even if you're not the breadwinner, no man should be involved or get involved negatively in a family feud. And also to whisper in your ear and get into mess. I think that's wrong because this is between the group. It's between Tiny, Tamika, Tasha, and Kandi. This is not between that. And it seems to me the reason why I feel like Tasha is teaming up on her husband, teaming up on her against her sister. I feel like she's in a very toxic situation. Now, mind you, Kandi said something so clear, and I'm going to drop the link in here because I see Jezzo, and I want Jezzo to come on because he's from New York, so if he might want to say something. So I'm going to drop the link in here if you want to come on. She's right about this, that she said that her sister, Tamika was talking about how it hurt her feelings and that, she didn't want this to play out with the blogs. And then they talked about the number. Now, Tasha got a new number. None of the group members had the number. According to Kandi, the only reason why Tiny got the number because she reached out to Tiny and she said she had her listening party in LA. And then she said, okay, you can invite the girls. So you see this situation going on. And I agree with Kandi. When Kandi said every time Tasha get an opportunity, she want to poop on the group. She want to say she done with the group. She don't want to sing. Anytime she don't have anything going on in her personal life, solo deals, she's ready to sing with the group. My thing, I will respect you, Tasha, because you got an amazing voice. I mean, your song that you got out, I'm going to make sure I give you some shout out because I'm purchasing the album. Stay With Me. I listen to that song constantly on my station here. So Tasha, don't take this as an offense. Don't block me. But I'm saying this in love. You can really sing. But if you're singing for the Lord, if you're doing a gospel album, then you must show your sister love and you must show your sister support. Because what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? And he said, how can you love God whom you have not seen, but hate your brother whom you see every day? So you can't be singing for God and then in reality, you nasty with your sister. You can't talk to your sister. And for mama, you can't be saying you are a follower of Christ, but then you have favorite daughters and sons, and then you pin them against each other, and then you take up and you defend, you be on the side of your favorite child. That to me is sick and perverted, and it's wrong, and it creates a lot of confusion. The reason why I like Tamika so much, I like her so much, she did something so great. Her daughter, she was like, y'all be respectful to grandma, be respectful to auntie, mama got it. That was the perfect opportunity for Tamika to let her daughters just drag their grandmother and drag their aunt. She still to this day supported and with love her, tell them to support your granny, be nice to your granny, pray, be nice to your auntie, pray. I like that, and that says a lot about her character. What we need to realize and Xscape, they have issues. And I forgot one of the members of SWV, but one of the members of SWV said, listen, we could give these men chances after chances. They hurt our feelings. They cheat on us. We still deal with their BS. Why can't we have that same mindset when we're dealing with female groups? And Tasha, they asked her what's going on. I'm just going to pray about it. That negative energy because sis is shopping a solo deal. She at the gospel in Nashville shopping a solo. She at Motown Gospel. She's shopping a solo deal. So a lot of things that she's doing this to provoke and create confusion because she's shopping a solo deal. Instead of her just saying, hey, I want to go out on my own. I want to do a gospel inspiration album. I can't really deal with the group now. Thank you, Lily. And so they're, SWV, I understand they don't all get along. I was getting some tea about how they don't get along like that. But when it comes to the business, when it comes to a bag, they collectively say, okay, we might not be talking personally, but let us get this bag. That's something that Xscape needs to understand. Now, Tasha, to really help you can do both simultaneously. You can do your inspirational stuff and your Xscape stuff, and then you would get more people to buy into your inspirational stuff. You understand what I'm saying? So if I were you, I would strategically work with Xscape, go on tour. So just in case it's my inspirational stuff don't work, I still have those multiple bags coming from the Xscape part. You know what I'm saying? So when I saw this, I was immediately upset. I was upset with Tasha. I was upset, but I'm glad that it's not Kandi's fault because at one point I said Kandi don't want to get along with the group. She the Beyonce of the group or whatever, and I'm looking like Kandi is the innocent one, And Tasha the one that got the stank attitude, and then she get up and she lie on people. So that's what I was looking at that. So I'm gonna bring up, and also I'm gonna drop the link again. So if anybody else want to join us, I will also put the phone lines up. We're bringing our good friend up on the show, and if any of my YouTube students want to come on, or people want to come on, y'all more than welcome to hit the link as well. If y'all have something to say, this is good promo. Because we introduced to a show. So I'm gonna bring up here Jezzo. But give me a second because I want to. Okay, give me a second here. I'll just put the number on the screen. Give me a second here. Okay, can you hear me? I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, yes, I can. Okay, let me take.
Am I clear, loud?
Yes, you are clear and loud. Yes, welcome.
Okay.
So we both,
Hey.
we both have watched the show, and I want to give your thoughts on it. But let me be clear: this show, and Kandi talked about this on Speak on It. I mean, I'm looking for season 2. Like they only have 6 episodes, but clearly because of this feud with the sisters, and because of the spill out outside the show and the views that they get, this can definitely be a long, lengthy series of the show for Xscape and SWV, because I like it. It ain't just drama based. You see a good part with family, with Granny, And I didn't know this about Kandi. Kandi shared that her husband and her granddaddy, her father and her great grandfather were bishops in the Holiness Church. And I was like, oh, this is why I connect with Kandi. Because my uncle is a bishop of Holiness Church. So if you know anything about Holiness churches, they're very strict, especially back in the day. You couldn't go to the movies. You can't wear all that heavy makeup. You have to wear long skirts. Some of the Holy Church that I grew up under, women preachers couldn't preach. So, you cannot say you got a boyfriend or girlfriend. You can't drink no alcohol. You can't.
Now, what's a Holiness Church? What is that?
That's Pentecostal. Like you see, you got
Baptist.
Okay. So people, we don't really call that Pentecostal. We call it a Holiness Church. So
okay, the women have to wear skirts down to their ankles.
To their ankles. So you cannot be LGBT. So that's what I grew up under. It's on Bravo, you guys, if y'all didn't understand what to call it. So I kind of like connected with it, and then Kandi was like, oh, I'm so glad they got divorced, because she felt like if she would have never got divorced, if her mother never got divorced from her father, then she felt like it would have hurt her chance to sing, because it was forbidden for you to listen to R&B music. Like I remember growing up in my grandma's house. I mean, she's holy, sanctified, everything. She's the mother of the church. Her oldest son is a pastor. So I was watching Soul Train, and it was some R&B. Turn it off. We ain't watching that in this house. Turn it off. Like I couldn't watch no rap. So, I started listening to hip hop and rap because it's everywhere. Hip hop, rap was everywhere. I went to with Center. So I would listen to hip hop, but she did not allow that in her house at all. Like you had to sneak guys in. And of course, when she got older, I would sneak guys in or whatever. But coming up, she was really on it. A lot of things we couldn't do. We had to go to church on Tuesday. We had to go to church on Wednesday. We had to go to church on Sunday. I had to go to church on every second Sunday, every second Saturday. So my schedule was like booked with church. And, that's how it was when it comes to like church like this. And so when I look at this show, I'm like, oh, this is really, really good. But what was your thoughts? Because I want to be clear. SWV, they based out of New York. They were coming out of the New York.
Yes.
Correct? So
yes, the Bronx and New Jersey.
Yeah. So you are a fan of I'm assuming.
And my uncle used to date one of them, actually.
Really? Who did he used to date?
Yeah, he used to date. I think it was the ghetto one. What's her name? Lily. It was Lily. Yeah, he briefly dated Lily. Right before they got their record deal, he dated her briefly. And then he didn't hear from her afterwards. After she got her record deal, he didn't hear from her no more.
Wow. So I think that's some tea there. So when you watch this show as a fan, I always have to ask people, were you entertained?
I was entertained, because it's SWV and Xscape. That's music from my time. Those are legends. So I was definitely entertained. I was very disappointed at the drama between LaTocha and Tamika. I feel that the mother is a common denominator between their relationship. And the question I the same interview that you said that you seen Tamika's interview.
Yes.
I've seen it as well, and I hit her up in the comments. I said, I would like to interview you because one of the questions that, and if you get to interview her before me, you ask her this question. Um, her and Tasha have the same father?
That's a good point. Oh, that's okay.
Because
Where you going with that? Go ahead.
because a lot of times when you have a mother with multiple kids and their kids have different fathers, they treat the kids according to how they feel about the father.
Ooh, you going
You feel
deep?
you feel
Okay.
what I'm saying?
Okay.
So if they have different fathers, that's why she treats Tamika the way she treats Tamika. That's exactly why. Because when they was arguing and the mother was sitting there, the mother turned around to the camera and said she's jealous in the camera, talking about Tamika was jealous of LaTocha. What mother would say that? Even if you thought that in your mind, why would you say that on national TV that your child is jealous of the other child? And then Tamika was right when she said, every time I say something, every time I have a complaint, you yell at me about it. But every time Tasha says something, it's no problem. She can speak her mind. She can say whatever she want to say.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the mother is the common denominator, and then Latasha, that husband, oh, that husband is R. Kelly number two. He is R. Kelly number two. He worked with R. Kelly back in the days, so he was part of that whole situation with R. Kelly too. And I feel
Allegedly. Allegedly.
okay, allegedly. I'm sorry, yeah, allegedly. He's allegedly he's part of that whole. I'm feeling emotional right now. I have to. But he's allegedly part of that whole R. Kelly situation too. So he knows about manipulation, and you could tell that. In my opinion, I feel that he's manipulated LaTocha. You see how he was in her ear when they was doing their confessionals, and she was talking in the camera. The producer asked her a question, and she said, "Oh, I have to think about that." And then the husband came around and was whispering something in her ear, and then she answered the question. So that just tells you right there, the husband runs that relationship and runs her entire career. And then when it comes down to that gospel deal, they don't want her because she could sing. They wanted her because she's down with Xscape. Because the young man even asked her, well, my concern is your group. What about your group? And she gave them a look and she said, "Oh, I didn't tell them." And he said, "Oh, well, you didn't tell them?" And she was like, "No." And both of them gave her a look like, "Oh, wow."
I want to say, and it's another piece. They're
Hmm.
literally shopping around, and someone close to Tamika told me this as well. They're trying to label her crazy. So Tasha's, and I agree with Kandi, is going around labeling Tamika crazy. Like Tasha's manager or assistant going around saying she lost her mind. So Kandi even told it that someone from California, I'm sorry, Tamika said someone from California talked to Tiny said, "Oh my gosh, why did you tell me Tamika lost? Oh, Tamika lost her mind and everything." And she was like, "No, Tamika haven't. I lost her mind." It's very disgusting. So even like testing the waters, because I interviewed Tamika like about 2-3 years ago. So
Uh-huh.
communication, trying to get her back on the show. And one of the questions, one of the things they told me, I cannot ask her anything about mental health because she have not pretty much lost her mind. Because I guess everybody trying to ask her questions, what do she have a mental illness? And she clearly don't. I just feel like that part is disgusting because your assistant ain't telling nothing that you don't approve of. So I think that Tasha is telling her assistant these things and giving her assistant the green light to say these disgusting things about Tamika. But like
Hmm.
you said, I'm glad that she's speaking up because a lot of things she defended Tasha on. Like she was had
Yep.
every time the fallout, she always took her sister side. And even to me,
Right.
I said everything that this woman did, everything my sister did, I took up for it because that's my sister. But I don't get
Right.
that same love in return. You clearly see it. And that's a good question. Do they have the same father?
Their
And
father.
I can
Yeah.
guarantee they probably don't.
They
And
probably don't.
and the one that she hate on to me because she probably can't stand Tamika's daddy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's probably
Exactly.
so when I look
Exactly.
so when I look at that and I was like, okay, this show is a really good show. Make sure y'all like this video. Like this video. Click when you come in the room, like the video. I clearly can tell that it's a friction, but I'm glad they had the drama because it's good TV. And the cameras was there. Anytime when you have somebody share something that
Mm-hmm.
you don't know, that makes a good TV. You know,
Well,
when
the show is produced by Mona Scott, so
okay, so of course,
right, Mona Scott Young is going to make sure that it's going to be good TV.
and so it's some good TV. And it was really, really good. And I can just say I'm looking forward to Sunday as well. And I was like, okay, Jezzo. Everybody's saying they love Jezzo. I'm glad
Thank you,
to see that Jezzo, because number one, Jezzo got his own mind. Jezzo been in media for over 15 plus years. Jezzo have
thank
interviewed
you.
celebrities. And one day we can just run down your resume and we can do that in this broadcast. Other people that you have, that you have interviewed. Because one person said, "Who is that Jezzo? I never heard of her." I said,
Listen,
"You never heard of her," but this guy.
I'm I am small fries. It's all about you, Mr. Wiley. I am small fries, please.
But you have, but you have a resume, and I'm glad. I'm so
Thank you.
glad that you're deciding to come back because people like you are needed. That New York, because it's some bloggers in New York, but you really made
They
it.
whack.
Yeah, how what you
They
said?
whack. They whack. It
Uh-huh.
ain't nothing. It ain't
Right.
nothing like
No, no, it's
a
like
Jezzo story.
yeah, it's a void to bring back that Jezzo, that type of energy. And so I'm glad
Yeah,
that you are coming back in the summer. I wish you would come back earlier than that, but I'm glad that you outside, talking.
I'm getting the business right. That's why I'm coming
Yeah,
back in the summer.
yes,
I gotta make money off of this now. I can't just be
exactly.
playing
Doors right
right.
down the street. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that you definitely I'm just glad you definitely come on the show.
You got Jason Lee out here getting his coins. Look, it's time for us to get our coins,
Okay,
okay?
yes, and I'm talking about those Bitcoins. And
Exactly. Shout out to Jason Lee. I ain't hating on Jason Lee,
I
but I'm just saying
ain't hating on him at all.
it's room for me and Wiley to get some coins now. Me and Wiley got to get them coins.
But speaking about that, and you brought up a good point. A lot of people think that it should just be one person. Like
No.
it could be multiple because we already, when you compare shows and shows that are making money, we're still in a minority. Like
Mm-hmm.
most shows, we don't have the reserves like cash, liquid cash, like CNN,
Mm-hmm.
MSNBC,
Right.
Fox News. They have probably millions that they ain't even
Of
touch
course.
that they can go into those reserves. We don't
Mm-hmm.
have that luxury. So it's always room for us at the table. One thing that you said,
Yes.
and I have to say credit of what you said, and I want to reiterate, you said put your blinders on, focus on you, and don't focus on anybody, and be in competition
Yep.
with yourself. And ever since that I've been doing that, I said, how can I
Mm-hmm.
do a better show than yesterday? And I'm not really worried about other shows. I used to though.
Yeah, don't.
I used to be so worried and compared myself to other shows. And when you said that, I was like, that's key. Like God will send people in your life to give you a message and say
Mm-hmm.
confirmation. Because
Right.
now that I focus on me,
Mm-hmm.
I can only be the best me. And now the message that I preach to myself, I say, "Ooh, Wiley, how can you top last night's show? Compare
Yep.
how can I top last week's show?" And so I came out and I did the Xscape, review, and then poof,
Mm-hmm.
you came back into my life, and you offer something to the show where you hitting the link and you giving a comment on these type of things, and you're saying, "Hey, I'm coming back in the summer." I love the fact that I'm in a position to give you a platform, so when you come back, it won't be as difficult for you just to be a no
Thank you.
that. You
Thank,
come back, oh,
thank you.
hi, Jezzo, that was on the Wiley Show. I have a very distinct voice. I'm going to support his show because he's cool. He's literally cool people. And
Yeah.
what I've always wanted to do on my show is to help others, content creators, come up. And because at one point I got discouraged because you get people to come up, they surpass you,
Mm-hmm.
and they just start being shady.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't never want to get into that place where I don't want to help. Now I'm not helping everybody, But
Right.
I've always told creators, like, if a person drop a link or have a call-in number, you don't have to broadcast your show and say I'm a blogger. Just participate and be like, oh, and put your name on there. Like if you come on StreamYard, I'm gonna Google this Jezzo. I'm gonna follow him. Like you
Mm-hmm.
have to say, hey y'all, you can say it, but you don't have to keep broadcasting it because your voice, your work, like your
And
voice, it's
right.
the people, and the people are gonna be Googling you and subscribing. Go ahead, Jezzo.
Right. No, I was gonna say, you notice not once ever did that. Like, oh, I'm just so I got my own show. I never
No,
once did do
because
that.
your work. And I learned something, and I want to say this. I was just an Ice-T, and so Ice-T
Mhm.
hang around a lot of billionaires. He said one mistake people make when they hang around billionaires, they always want to ask that billionaire for stuff. He said never do that.
Right.
If the billionaire asks you a question like what you got planned, what you plan on doing, then
Mhm.
that's when you present
Right.
an idea for an investment. That's the same thing when you get on these shows. Don't keep asking, oh, I'm a host, so put me on. That's going to happen naturally because if you're a good
Mm-hmm.
person like myself, I'm like, let the folks know that you've been in this business for 15 years and that you've been associated with Wendy Williams because these
Right.
people need to know that. And that's why I kept reiterating. I said, do you got some of your old clips? Do you got some of your old videos? Do you got some of your old, your iCard? And you said yes. And I said,
Yeah,
okay,
it's a lot there.
still there. So I'm just honored
And
that
be clear, be clear. I fixed my teeth. I remember back in the days,
you
people was talking about my teeth and how my teeth was crooked and everything. I fixed them. Okay, so let's be
okay,
clear.
got the money. Okay, if you talk about my team, I'm going to the team fighting place and getting I make I fix. I may not get it fixed, but when you get
Right.
money, you have that opportunity. You know what I'm
Ability.
saying? Because when, like, say for instance, like we here, we ain't making money like that. But when we start making $2 million, $3 million, of course you're gonna look different. Now, I will get my eye fixed, get my teeth done, but I'm not
Mhm.
getting no Botox and getting silicone.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not touching my
No,
face. No.
no, I
Mm-mm.
keep my face natural because I've seen a lot of the girls, Black China, she'll look a hot mess, and
Yes,
correct,
without makeup. Yes.
she's trying to correct the mess that she made to her body, and it's going to take years to ever. And then when you look at Black China before she had that look, that the foots and stuff, she was a decent, beautiful looking woman.
She was but a lot of those girls that went and played with their face and their body, they was beautiful from the start. Little Kim, they was beautiful from the start, but they just decided to play with their face, and it just made them look horrible, look like aliens. Little Kim, but
Yes, and that kind
I'm
of
shady.
that's kind of like because Lil Kim's supposed to be revered as a legend. But because of her surgeries, people use her as a punching bag. But I believe Lil Kim's supposed to release a book last year. She still have not released a book. I can't even tell you just
Listen,
the emails that I've sent to Lil Kim team to do a sit down interview because nobody really be asking her these questions. And so,
listen.
and I was like, I thought I had a door open up when her book was supposed to drop last year, and she postponed it. And because I'm ready to read it, like I pre-ordered it, I'm ready to dive into the book, so we all can get a clear understanding if she addressed it, what really made her, because something made her start playing with her face and kept playing with her face.
Listen, listen. Let me just before I say shady stuff, because I am going to say some shady stuff, because I am say shady Zoe. I love Little Kim. She's a fellow cancer like me. I love her. Brooklyn all day, New York. She was my girl. She is my girl. But I gotta speak the truth and I gotta be real. Little Kim's career died when Biggie died. He made Little Kim, and that's how Little Kim got her come up, got her rise, got all the ideas, all her music came from Biggie. The moment that Biggie passed away, Little Kim career has passed away right along with it. Little Kim has not done nothing um with that had longevity since Biggie passed away. She dropped a couple of albums, they did okay, but it was not to the level of what she should have been. You get what I'm saying?
Well, she did, after, when she did her album. What was the album that she did with Mary J? Hold On, when she did that record, it was very emotional. But I felt like that should have had some
Which
visuals.
one?
When she did the record, when she was talking about Biggie's death, and it's called Hold On featuring Mary J. So she did have some
I don't
hits.
remember that one.
Put Your Lighters Up, that was a hit. I feel like
Yeah, but
her,
her star
I
should have
know it's
been
hard to
brighter.
it could have, but that's her fault and her team fault. They
Mm-hmm.
focus on her getting a fashion line because she is known for her fashions. So she should have had her own wig line, shirt line, you know what I'm saying? So the people around her, she did not
You,
have people that could really think about
you're
years.
absolutely right.
Have enough visionaries on her team, like, okay, Kim, get people around and say, let's get a wig line because you're known about your wigs. That she should have been doing in the 2000s because she was known for that. And her fashion, I believe that Lil Kim would have been a billionaire today if she would have set herself up and really focused and investing in the fashion line, liquors. I just think that she didn't do enough on that. And then what really hurt her out there, of course, she messed with her face. And when she went to prison, when
But
she
yeah, I was gonna say that
so go
she
ahead,
she should have capitalized on her release from prison, because remember she had that series on BET
she did.
following up to her prison sentence. When she came home from prison, she should have continued that reality show on BET, and then drop music, get into acting, because people was looking for her. People was waiting for her, and she didn't capitalize on that. And
No,
to be honest,
yeah.
her fans are our age now. We ain't got time to be waiting for Little Kim now. We moisturizing. We got to pay bills and stuff like that. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, and
Sorry.
and I'm glad you brought that point up because like I keep emailing Lil Kim fans, I mean Lil Kim management, and I said, why don't she don't have a show, a documentary? Lil Kim need a biopic because it's a lot of things that we know, it's a lot of things we don't know.
Hmm.
And why in the world, even if it's not on the main screen, it could get a lifetime treatment, right?
Of course.
Tony Braxton did it. Why not Lil Kim? And I still believe to this day, I believe she's loyal to people that's been her team for a while. And I think she needs to fire all of them and get a new 21st century hungry team that know how to help the legends. Like whoever is behind Mary J. Blige needs to be behind Kim because Mary J. started around when Kim started, correct? In the
Yes.
in the
A
90s.
little a little before Little Kim, she
Yeah.
did.
So
Yeah.
she's still more relevant today than she was in the 90s. So I think a lot of these 90s artists have to start changing their team and be like, who is Usher team? Because you see, Usher is still relevant and still competing with R&B acts that came out now, and he came out in that era of Kim. So I think that she needs to sit down with her team. Y'all send this to Lil Kim. I'm gonna edit this and send it to her. She needs to sit down with her team and look at what they're doing and to see if it was no growth, they need to be let go. She did a brand new team because I believe that Lil Kim need one more album before she retire, and she need to announce, say, "This is my last album. I'm retiring," and then she need to focus on set her up television, producing movies, etc. I feel like she need one more album, and then with a brand new team, and
Listen,
I believe that it should happen. And like I said on Twitter, I believe that her and Nicki, that era of them working together, that's going to
it's
be.
over.
I know it's going to be over, but if they can get the egos out the way, that song that her and Lil Kim would do, that will be Nicki Minaj's Grammy Award winning song. Because when Brandy and Monica went with their beef, remember it was a massive beef. Somebody
Hmm.
smart said y'all should do a record together, and the first and only Grammy they have is the song they did, "The Boy Is Mine." But go ahead, Jezzo.
Um, what Kim needs to do, and I'm gonna give you a little fun fact. What Kim needs to do is Kim needs to get rid of Tay Tay and Bebe and all of them. She needs to get rid of them and get some white people on her team.
That's
That's what it is.
that's
Okay.
what it
Kim
is.
Kim got too many hood boogers around her, and she needs to get rid of them and get some white people, some European white people that's in finance, that's in management, that's into production and whatnot, and get them on her team, and they can go in that business office and do what they do to get her deals and stuff like that. That's what Mary got. Mary got a bunch of white people on her team. That's what she
Yes.
got.
And I think that, and then also she need a social media team because Lil Kim have a personality. She could be on TikTok. Some of her old songs need to be going viral on TikTok. That's when you, like you said, get a team of young people around you. They could be white or they could be black because the team behind Beyonce is a mixture. Like they got Yvette, she's black. Another
Yeah.
got white. She got Frank Gasper, which was black. So it's many black people that can take the reins. But having a white team around Lil Kim, that's exactly what she needs. And I 1000% agree with you. I think that when we say it, people will look at us. What are y'all talking about?
But
Oh,
yeah.
about the white man. You know,
Here come the woke people coming to attack us now.
yes. Oh, here they go. Why can't
Here
be
they
black?
go. Why can't it be black?
Two
What
black
I'm saying.
people talk about she need white folks. So yeah.
What I'm saying is, and you know, for us who live in the hood, you know what I'm saying. The hood boogers, you know, the ones that work on her team, but also allegedly do mischievous stuff in the street. She needs to get
Oh,
rid of them, okay, and get some people in there, white people, preppy black people, business people, whatever, to go in there and negotiate these deals, you know, with these different companies and brands and become a brand ambassador and stuff like that. She needs to do that.
I feel. Oh my gosh, you have definitely said a good point, and I wanna break that down to you, to people that's in the chat. Uh, he ain't lying because in that type of spirit, having these hood boogers, probably people that she grew up in Brooklyn with, in Jersey with, they're not really helping her career. And Kim can make more money. Like it needs to be a time when she get a new role manager, a new booking manager.
Yes.
She need a tour, even if it's a tour of other female acts that Erica Banks. Look, Kim can headline these tour. Get Erica Banks. Get what's the other girl that's out here that's doing records with Cardi B? Her, Glorilla, and Kim being a headliner. Like it's plenty different. I remember years ago, Lil Kim did a tour, and it was a good tour. Remember, she did that tour. It was like a while ago, and I said she needs to definitely do it again because it's a lot of Lil Kim fans that is out there.
Hmm.
We just sleep because the person that we're a fan of, she ain't doing nothing for us to invest in. Just like
Right.
her album, I feel like that album was slept on. Like "Pray for Me" with Rick Ross, that should have had a video.
Yep.
It's like it was so many iconic. She had a video, and she did do a video with the Young Miami. So booty, 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 booty. Look at it. Where okay, that she did this off that, but
Right.
still a great storyteller. And she just need some more people around her, and she needs to do more interviews. And I think that Kim is afraid of interviews, and this is the sad part. But she needs to do the interviews with people like Jezzo and myself. That's not going to just keep asking herself about Nicki Minaj. That's
Well,
downsizing
you know what
the
you
legacy
know,
of Lil'
but
Kim.
you know what? I don't think that she needs to do. I don't think she really needs to do interviews because she don't know how to speak. You know what I'm
Really?
saying? She don't know how to really speak. Have you ever really
Yeah,
paid attention to
I
her
think
in interviews?
she sounds really nice. But what I'm saying is, when her book come
She doesn't.
out,
She doesn't know how to really speak.
when her book dropped, that's when she really needs to go on a master tour. She did go on Tamron Hall, and
Yeah.
this is how she can get a revamp and get some sympathy support. Talk about the plastic surgery and give us the who, what, and why.
Well, she allegedly says she got vitiligo, which I find that to be hard to believe.
Well, I don't think she had that. I just think
She ain't got no damn
I just
vitiligo.
think it was the pressure of the industry,
Yes.
and she wanted to change it, and she did a little bit too much. And then she also can talk about her being in an abusive relationship because she did talk about dive into that, but really
Hmm.
dive into that. Kim is deserving of that. And if she listened to us, you would see more of Lil Kim because let's be clear, the women still can rap. I personally like her.
Yes.
I personally
Yes.
like her singing voice. And if we give Nicki Minaj a pass for her singing voice, so can we give Kim a pass for her singing voice.
What
She
and
just
what she
better people
what
around
she
her.
what she also needs to do, and I'm gonna say this to Nicki Minaj as well, and quite a few of the other females in the industry. Stop listening to people around you, your makeup artist, your hairstylist, and only stop listening to them people because those are the ones that starting the beef. Because Nicki and Kim don't even know what they really beefing about.
Facts. That was a blown out manufactured beef from outsiders.
Right,
And both of them took the bait.
right. There are so many beefs, you know, between women in the industry, and those two never even had words. It's their entourage, their people, their hairstylists and makeup artists and wardrobe people and you know onlookers. They're the ones who started the beef, and then now it gets the artists all hot and heavy. Oh, they said that for me. I'm gonna do a diss song. Stop listening to all those people and just focus on yourself. Focus on your craft. Be humble. Be humble and be willing to work with other artists. There's room for everybody to eat. Picking back on what you said earlier, there's room for everybody to eat. You may not like somebody, you may not agree with what they do. That's fine. You don't have to deal with them. But there's no need to throw shade or be mean or become a bully towards
I
them.
agree. I want to say this, and I say this humbly. Her
Hmm.
book was supposed to drop. I'm looking at it right now. The Queen Bee, available everywhere.
Hmm.
11 on the November 2nd,
Hmm.
2021. Okay, I
Hmm.
know this. We are in 2023, and so I just don't understand why this book is not out. I
And
don't.
last year she said that she was working on a reality show. I mean, not a reality show. Excuse me, a movie about her life. Last year she said that in an interview.
Okay, so now, okay, I got it. The new release date is September the 24th, 2024. So, right now,
Listen.
I
We're
think,
gonna be waiting. We're gonna
yeah,
be waiting for this book like we waiting for a whole new album.
right. And this is why I want to talk to Kim, and it's so hard to get in contact with Kim. Because I wish I knew somebody that knew somebody. I just want to get on the phone with her.
I used to know because back in the days before I started doing YouTube, I used to throw block parties, and I knew her team. I used to know Hillary. I think her was Weston, her old manager, and she was also like I think she was like the CEO of her record label. And when I used to throw the block parties, they would come to the block party and they would have like flyers and posters and stuff like that of Little Kim and whatnot. But Little Kim never came to the block party. She did not want to come to the block party.
Oh wow. See, now she need those block parties and that stuff now because now she to remind the people and there's many different strategies that she need to utilize. And you have social media and look him barely be on social media. And that's a failure for artists now because you need social media. Social media
Yep.
people need to see you outside, they need to see you in the hosting club events. And that's
Mm-hmm.
because she need a better social media. Now, I know she probably don't know how to work TikTok and all of that, but you can hire these hungry interns that will
Yep.
love to add Lil Kim to their resume because all the successes, they can go and shop that and get better deals for themselves.
Yep.
And that's something that I believe that Lil Kim needs to be doing because when I'm looking at this date of this book, this is just like a hot mess.
It
Like
is a hot mess.
on September 24, 2024. That's a mess.
And
That
you said you pre-ordered that book?
yeah, I pre-ordered it, yes.
How
And
much did you pay? How much did you pay?
oh my gosh, it was like almost like $30. Almost.
You need to email them and tell them you want your $30 back. I'm sorry. Cause
I'm
2020.
a big fan of Kim. I've never abandoned Kim anytime. She had a club appearance a couple of years ago in Chicago. I was there. She released her album Nine. I iTunes it and I played it and I bought it for somebody else on iTunes. I still listen to the nastiest one. I love that. I'm still a fan of Kim. I've never
I
abandoned.
am too.
So I just want the something great for Kim. And when we look at Kim, when you look at Lil Kim, you're looking at somebody that's been in the business since the '90s. You're looking at somebody that's been in the business around the hip hop greats. I think it's a failure that a lot of times. Remember what happened with 50 Cent when he
Hmm.
started to criticize Lil Kim Baby because Kim did a record with Megan Thee Stallion. I don't know if it was an unreleased record. It was unreleased because she didn't have the clearance because they took it down off YouTube.
Mm.
It was a dope thing, and 50 Cent came out and called her baby cockeyed. She said, "Oh,
What?
she's talking about your baby. I know she's talking about you, and her baby I messed up." 50 Cent said that. Nobody from hip hop defended Kim. She got dragged, and I felt like that was quite disgusting for 50 Cent to say that about Kim. And I believe that Kim has become to certain people in the industry, a certain sector, a punching bag. And I felt like that was disgusting. And that's when I gave,
That is
I stood
horrible.
guy because he's a deadbeat dad. He didn't really get along with Marquise, and
I was about to say that
you know,
you're saying it's about somebody who don't respect his own child.
right.
So
So I just felt like, wow, that was disgusting. That he did that to her and said that. And I think that kind of hurt her feelings. And you really didn't hear much more about Kim since then, and it was quite disgusting. But in order to really be relevant when you are one of those legends, I said the same thing to Brandy and Monica. You must take advantage of social media, and that's keeping you relevant. And you can say whatever you want to say about Nikki. Nikki stay on Twitter. Nikki
she
stay on
does.
Instagram. Nikki does at radio. Why doesn't Kim have a podcast? Kim can have a podcast because a lot of the people like Joe Budden, though he ain't making it rap, what did the brother do? He got into media. Kim can get a radio show in New York.
No, no,
You don't,
no,
you don't think she get a radio show
no.
or
She
a
don't know
podcast?
how.
You don't think
No,
she
she.
did a podcast to talk about her life
No,
experiences? You don't think so?
no, no. She don't know how to speak.
Really, I think she speak well.
She don't know how to speak. I'm telling you, she don't know how to speak. Mm-mm,
I think she speak
mm-mm.
well. Oh wow. Okay.
No, I love Kim. Don't get me wrong. I love Kim. But you see, here's the thing about Jezzo. Jezzo is a realist, and I'm gonna keep it real. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is, and I'm gonna accept people for who they are, and call them out for who they are and what they, what they. It is what it is. Stay in her lane. Get some more people to write for her, and link up with Dr. Dre. Link up with DJ Khaled. Link up with some new producers out there, and put together an album. That's it.
I
She needs to do that.
I agree.
And be a brand ambassador. Excuse me, I'm tongue tied. Be a brand ambassador for a fashion house. Givenchy, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Fendi, Chanel. Like the list goes on and on. Burberry. She could be a brand ambassador for one of these fashion lines. She could come out with her own. Well, did she come out with her own? No, she didn't come out with her own perfume. But she can come out with her own perfume. Like she can do that. Stay in her lane. Leave podcasting and the radio for Wiley and Jezzo. That's
I,
it.
and then also because Nick Cannon is her manager. He's a terrible manager because first and
Nick
foremost,
Cannon is her manager.
yes, Nick
Wait
Cannon.
a minute, hold on. That's why her career ain't going nowhere. Nick Cannon's worrying about his 7 and 8 kids.
Yeah, that's her manager, Nicki Minaj. I'm sorry, Nick Cannon. That's her manager because
Nick Cannon. Wait, I'm sorry. Wiley, can you repeat that again?
Lil Kim is her manager because back in 2021, Lil Kim said Nick Cannon is now her manager. The rapper revealed her current connection to Cannon and complex interview series Hiking with Rappers, for which she joined host King on some Los Angeles trails, but spent more time chatting about her career in a golf cart. Lil Kim at first insisted she jogs 5 miles and takes a hike every day, but later admitted, I never hiked a day in my life. I don't like it. When asked about what's next for her, Cannon's name entered the conversation. Since he's apparently helping her make these decisions, I just shot a movie with Nick Cannon. She said, Nick Cannon people don't even know, like he's one of my best friends. We've been best friends for years. We just shot a movie called Miracle Across 125th Street. I really did the movie for Nick, but I like doing movies. It's a part of my next level. She added, Nick is convincing me, he's my manager. I didn't know that, the host replied. Your manager has like 20 kids. Leave my manager alone, Lil Kim joke. For the record, Cannon also keeps busy as a TV and radio host, is the father of 7 children, 4 of whom are born in the last year. Earlier this month, he announced he's planned to practice celibacy until 2022. Lil Kim's most recent album, 9, was released in 2019. 3 of her albums, 20 of Notorious K.I.M., 2003, La Bella Mafia, and 2005, Naked Truth, reached the top 10 on the Billboard 200 album chart. She has an
I
upcoming memoir
can't.
titled Queen Bee. So that is technically her manager. And so I reached out to Nick Cannon as well. No response. Like,
Well,
uh,
first of all, Nick. So see that's the problem. You cannot have a manager that's a celebrity as well because they're going to focus on their self, their business, their property, whatever. You're going to be secondary. You need a manager that don't want to be the star. You need a manager that likes being behind the scenes.
Absolutely. So you're right about that because I remember I did a reality show with a person and haven't come out yet. Hopefully, I get a green light. And this person
Mm,
is behind the scenes, and they were watching me on
right.
YouTube, and they wrote records for Brandy and for Monica and all these other people. But you won't know who they are because they work
Behind
behind
the
scenes.
scenes. But wait, hold on, Wiley,
Yes.
Wiley. You did a reality show?
Yes, I did a reality show. I'm gonna send
Wait,
you the clip.
oh, okay, yeah, send me the clip. But
Yeah.
Wiley, you need to stop. You big time.
Yeah, I did.
First, earlier today, you told me that you got a barber, a traveling barber that comes to cut your hair.
That
Now
was
you tell now you telling me you're doing reality shows.
I did. Yeah, I did. I did a reality show, and we supposed to redo. We supposed to do some more taping of it sometime this year. But it taught me something. The people that was behind it, they're behind the scenes. They're not on like always going live. They're literally
Right,
behind the scenes. And so that's why I say you never know who watch you on YouTube. That's why I've always put the best show, whether it's 1, 5, 200, or 300 people, because you never know who is watching you and what opportunities present themselves. And these people are behind the scenes. And so, yeah, you just be shocked. And I was like, oh my gosh, the people that this person is connected with, I said, let me not drag this person. Let me play my cards right when I show up on set. So what I've learned about reality shows is that you got to bring it. And then also
right,
learn about reality shows that when it come out, you forget that you said these things because it's been so long since it was taped. But I'm telling you, when them cameras came on, I was doing it. And then when the cameras go off, I go back reading my books. I'm just as calm. But I bring it and I understand like you have to pick up this persona, and it's like an addiction. When the camera's on, I said, what can I do to be more wild? Why did that something? So that's how I know, like, doing reality, I was like, okay, I was wild. And sometimes the producers will tell you things and all that. And I just brought it. And it was a great experience. But back to Lil Kim, I would love to see her doing a reality show, or docu-series about her coming back, releasing, and it should be built on releasing her last album
mm-hmm.
to retirement, showing her with her daughter because the general public love that. And
And Mr. Papers and Mr. Papers.
the Papers, you know what I'm saying? Mr. Papers, first round, Mr. Papers, Kim, and her navigating her career as a mother.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a lane for that. And say this,
Yep.
and this will be the last album, and this probably would be a high selling album for her because of her television, of her being on television. So I believe that she needs to do, and then she also needs to drop her book and all of that. And then she should focus on acting. She should focus on, producing and really focus on behind the scenes. But I really believe that about Kim. But obviously something happened. She don't really post on social media like that. Only time you see her post it is when she make an announcement that she performing. She will be performing in May, I believe, in
You know
Germany.
what? But you know what? She went to she's a cancer, and us cancers we're not really into social media. We're very private people. We like our privacy. We don't care about social media. We don't care. Like when we're home, we're I'm gonna say her name. She's Kimberly. You know what I mean? She's not Little Kim. So she closes her blinds. She's in her own world. She don't care about social media until somebody from her team calls her and say, "Hey, Kim, get on social media. Go do this. Go do that." Other than that, she don't care. So I can understand why she's not on social media a lot. She's
I
private.
I get that, but you are the brand. And in the 21st century, even Beyonce posts more than Kim. And
But
Beyonce is private.
And
Uh,
she just started posting more though,
yeah,
Beyonce.
because she understand in order to stay relevant with the buying public, because a lot of us ain't really buying albums like that, but we will spend money and go to the show. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we'll watch her reality show. That in return will put money in her pocket. Because if you can give Xscape, let's bring them back on the screen here. If you could give Xscape and SWV a show, why can't we give Kim a show?
And this is their second time around doing the show, doing the reality show.
So why can't we give Kim a show? You know what I'm saying? And it could be on
But
weeks.
but see, does Kim want a show? That's the question.
That's
Like
probably
like we
she probably saying no, and she needed to help her career.
right
And
because
that's
it's not like I don't mean to cut you off, but it's not like she's not getting these proposals. She's getting these proposals. The question is, do she want to do it? Because we're out here, we're saying, yo, Kim, we want you to do this, we want you to do that, da, 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 da. But the question is, do she want to do it? Because it's not like she can't do it. It's not like little Kim cannot walk into BET, Viacom, or ABC, Disney, or somewhere like that and say, hey, I want a show.
I
She
agree.
can do it. She's that big of a star that she could walk into any book house, any fashion house, any network or whatever, and say, "I want to do something." Any record label, "I want to do something," and they'll do it because they know that she's bringing a following with her. They know that. But the question is, do she really want to do it? That's the question.
That is $1 million question, and I'm glad that you're bringing that question up because that is something that is true. Because she probably get in that she don't want to do it, and that's when you have to get people to really get in Kim's head and say, "Sis, give her hard truths. This will make you more relevant, and this will add more bags in your pocket." Because Kim, she's associated with she gets along with a lot of people. And when you talk to people in the industry,
Hmm.
Kim gets along with a lot of people. She's very well loved with her peers. She's actually more loved with her peers than Nicki. Like more people get
Yes.
along with Kim than they do with Nicki Minaj. She's the sweetheart in the industry. Though she get the internet trolls, but when you're talking about her peers, like fellow rappers, fellow R&B artists, Kim is very well liked.
I think that Kim likes being a socialite more than being an actual artist at this point. You gotta remember, Kim is almost 50. You know what I mean? So she don't have that same spunk as she once did back in the days. Little Kim is like what, 46, 47, something like that. So she's not far from 50. So she's kind of like settled down and slowed down. And I think that she likes being a socialite more than being an artist because it's not that she don't have to do so much to be a socialite. You know what I mean? Somebody will call her up and say, "Hey, Cam, we want you to be here. We'll give you $20,000, or we'll give you $100,000 for an appearance." And boom, she could be there, do what she got to do, and dip and make that money.
Yeah, she's actually 48. She was born July
48.
July 11th,
Mm-hmm.
1974. So it's time for her to do one more album. I believe so. That's
Yeah. You know it's funny. Every time I think of her birthday, a little story. Every time I think about her birthday, I go back to the conversation that I had with Little C's on her birthday one day. So a couple of years ago, um, Little C's was on Instagram or Twitter, one of the two, and he was live, and we was talking back and forth, and somebody had asked him about Little Kim. And I was like, yo, C's called me because I want to talk to you about Little Kim. And he was like, all right, cool. So he got off his live stream and he called me from a blocked number. And on her birthday, I kid you not, Wiley, on her birthday, me and this man had a 3-hour conversation about him and Little Kim relation. This was before him and Little Kim had, reconnected and made bygones be bygones between each other. And I said to him, I said, listen, Kim is gonna come around. Kim is a cancer. She's a softie. She's playing hardball, but she's gonna come around. Just give it a couple of years, and eventually she's gonna come around, and Junior Mafia will come back together. And he was like, I hope so. I hope she does. And I said, well, trust me, I'm a cancer. I know she's gonna come around. And look what happened. They cool again.
facts. And it is cool again. So the reason why we're bringing this up, you guys, is because I don't know why we bring it up. The spirit
I
is
don't even know why. We just went everywhere. I'm sorry.
right.
I'm
So
sorry.
we brought it up. And so I think that is needed to bring it up with Kim. And then this is also on an umbrella because we brought Kim up because you see SWV and Xscape, they're back.
Right.
And they understand, especially Kandi, that if you want to be relevant in the 21st century, we need to be showing the public that we outside, and they're getting a bag. You know what I'm saying? They're selling out arenas. Why can't Kim do the same? You understand what I'm saying? So I just think, like you said, Kim need a better team around her. Whoever is behind Mary J. Blige, A1, because she stayed with a bag. She even got a show on BET. And she got movies, and she's a hell of an actor. Why can't Kim, and I know this probably won't happen, can't be in 50 Cent series? That probably won't happen because 50 Cent has sold her. She'll probably turn it down.
Right, but that would be a good look for Kim,
That
though.
would be a good look. Like, they need
To
to
be,
resolve that.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, and I don't even think that 50 Cent ever apologized to her at all. I know he apologized to somebody else, but I don't think he apologized to Kim. I forgot, who did he come against? He came against some artist. Y'all post in the chat. He did a whole radio interview and apologized to the artist, but he didn't apologize to Kim. But whenever Kim do an interview, they're going to bring that question up. If you're a true interviewer, you're going to bring that up to get her thoughts on it, and you're going to see her go viral. Oh, Madonna. Yes, he said something negative towards Madonna, a white woman, and that'll tell you he apologized. You know why he didn't apologize to Kim?
Because he knows she a legend, and she holds a higher candle than he does, and she could have him blackballed.
Facts. Oh, Meg. Okay. So, so you see him apologizing. So he didn't give that same courtesy to Kim. And I think that personally hurt Kim. And I think that's okay. Megan Thee Stallion, he apologized to Megan, and Megan is connected with Jay-Z and all that. So she have a more
Rock Nation.
Yes, got more of a connection. But he did not apologize to Kim. And I felt like that was so disgusting. I called 50 Cent. I'm small fry compared to, people in the industry like that. But it was so disgusting.
Listen, you're not small fry. You somebody in this industry. Right. So stop doing that. You somebody in this industry, damn it.
Okay, I'm following with that. So Diddy didn't even say anything to back up Kim. And then Diddy kind of did Kim wrong too. Like,
but Diddy don't have no loyalty to Kim. And not for nothing, Biggie. That's why allegedly I believe that Diddy has something to do with Biggie's death. Allegedly. Because Biggie was parting ways from Diddy right towards the end of his demise. Biggie was parting ways from Diddy, and I believe that Biggie had a conversation with Kim and told Kim stay away from him on the business front. Like it's cool to be cool with him and party with him, but when it comes down to business, stay away. So if you notice that Kim never went to Bad Boys, she stayed at Undies, which was Biggie's record, Undies Records. And then when Biggie passed away, she created her Queen Bee Records. And she stayed with that, with Queen Bee and Arista, and that was it. She never really worked with Diddy. So Diddy don't have no loyalty to her, and she don't have no loyalty to Diddy. If you notice, they don't even really rock with each other like that. Only if it's like to do like like to do a concert or something. Something like that. But other than that, outside of everything, they don't really rock with each other like that.
There we go. Wow. Jezzo and myself. I'm going to be right back, you guys. I have another live schedule. And so we're going to go live. I'm going to drop the link in there because we're going to be discussing Nicki Minaj. And I'm going to drop it in there. So Jezzo, if you want to come on back, you're more than welcome.
Okay, that's going to be on here or Station Head, because I'm confused.
I'm sorry.
You all over the place.
Yeah, that's gonna be right here over there on YouTube. Okay.
Okay, on YouTube. Okay, got you.
My Station Head show. That's like an after show because you can play music, you can do all that type of stuff. So we are going to be going over on YouTube. So I pinned it in the comments as well. And let me make sure I follow you on IG because I want to.
No, remember I told you all my social media accounts is deactivated right now because I'm told you I'm baking. I'll reactivate everything next month, but you can follow me here on YouTube. Just subscribe on YouTube and follow me here on YouTube, and then next month I'll
So your name on YouTube is Jezzo or Jezzo Frost?
Jezzo Frost.
Okay. Let me
make sure. Jezzo Frost. Yeah.
Okay, let me make sure.
Yeah, I'm under construction. I'm baking on social media, and I needed a social media break. You know what I mean? Sometimes social media can be very stressful. It can be very draining, and you just need a time off from social media so that we can just clear your mind, clear your head, and then jump back on it and Get back to what you normally do on social media.
Oh yes, I am subscribed to your show, and you did an interview with Willis Brooke. You did an interview with let's go back. You did R&B. Was it Shalik? Did I?
Shalik, yeah, Shalik, yeah, Shalik. He's an actor now, but he was an R&B singer, and he was pretty well known. He was signed to Motown, and another label, I forget, but he's pretty well known. Shalik, that's my guy. That's my guy.
And then you did a video. Is it Raekwon? Did I say it right?
Raekwon, yeah. I was thinking about taking that down. It was Raekwon's baby mother.
I don't think.
Um,
I think you should keep it up.
because that was like my first radio um call-in interview, and she was like dropping the bomb about him and talking about how he was a deadbeat daddy and all kinds of things, and I was just so nervous and flustered, and so I was thinking about taking that down, but I don't know. I might keep it up.
I would say this before we go. Just going to your archive right now. You interviewed the gay rapper JR.
Yes.
And me and him.
That's the date?
No, we never dated. But I went to his home because he was a great editor. Terrible rapper. And so, but he knew what so I would go to his house, shovel his snow.
What?
Yes, because he lived in Chicago.
I know.
And he would get, you know what I'm saying?
He had a fat butt, though. I ain't gonna lie. Go ahead.
That butt, yeah. And so him and my cousin would mess around, you know, and we would talk about him so nasty. And so I was sharing something with JR about my cousin's food, that it was nasty or whatever. And then JR told my cousin, "Oh, you can't I heard your cousin say your food is nasty." And my cousin said, "Well, did he tell you what he said about your music being trash and that you're garbage?" And his face was like, "You gotta go, get out of my house." And he immediately went in my YouTube account and he deleted like my videos. My
what?
Yeah. So just you going back to when you interviewed JR, I'm like, oh my God, that's what, yes, he did. He told my cousin, yeah, I did it. Because I didn't know what happened, because he would edit my videos, like my intros, and then I would interview him, and somehow the video just poof disappeared. He deleted it. And he told my cousin, yep, I did it because he was talking trash about me.
Wow.
So back almost 10 plus years, 10, 11 years ago. Because like I said, back in the day, there was no going live. Everything was a
recorded, correct.
So it wasn't even on Twitter. This was before Twitter came out and Instagram.
Right.
I don't even think Facebook was out during that time. If it was,
no.
it was just, okay. Facebook wasn't even out.
It was. Facebook was out around that time. It had just started to become public. Because remember when Facebook, you had to be in a school.
Oh
first.
Yeah, college. Yes.
Remember that? Yeah, you had to be in college first, and then you had to be like, get a sponsor and all that. Yeah, so it had just started to become public at that time. Yes. Yeah. He was very messy though. He was very messy.
Yeah. So. It was just that way. And so I don't know. You must have interviewed him. And let me see if this is Chicago. Did you interview him? When he went?
No,
when he came
to New York. So let me tell you what happened real quick, and then I'm gonna let you go. So, do you remember Bimbo Winehouse?
Yes, remember Winehouse. Oh yeah, that's the one that slept with that DJ.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. DJ Mr. C. So me and Bimbo Winehouse was like real tight, real besties, and I had knew about JR off of Twitter, talking to him on Twitter, whatever. And we had talked about like doing an interview, whatever. So one day I was at work and Bimbo was like, B, what you doing? And I said, I'm at work. And he was like, I'm gonna meet JR. We're gonna meet at the Port Authority. You come in? And I was like, yeah, okay, I'll come after work. And he was like, all right, cool. So I meet them at Port Authority. And we did the interview right in the train station, like right in the Port Authority. And The interview was okay. It was good. It was a good interview, but it was just like the the after fact, the antics afterwards. Like he was just very messy, very it- just drama. Because I did an interview with another rapper that he was beefing with,
Are you
and
talking
he
about
called.
Riot?
Yes, he was. Yeah, I had did an interview with Bryant,
Mm-hmm.
and he got mad because I did the interview with Bryant. And I'm like, one thing about me, I'm a fair person. I feel like there's room for everybody to shine and there's room for everybody to eat. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a neutral person. So he caught an attitude that because I did an interview with Brian, he started treating me shady. And I'm like, listen, I'm not all about that back and forth stuff. You know what I mean? Whatever you and Brian got going on, that's between you and Brian. You know what I mean? So
And so you bring that point up. I used to have a website. I'm gonna bring it back in just for a segment. And I used to do a list of the top 10 gay rappers. And he was so pissed that I put Brian the rapper
mhm.
number one. And he was like, "Whack, his videos are whack, his bars are whack." He could not stand Brian at all.
But the thing about it was that no shade, Jr. was whack. He was the whack one.
Yeah, he was
He
a whack
was the
one. He
he
was a
was
whack
the one. His raps was like it was like kindergarten rap. Like
one. Brian himself was a more polished, sexy rapper.
yes,
And you got to be clear. Me and Jezzo talking about 10, 11 years, 12 years ago. There was no Lil Nas X. They weren't.
nope,
Oh, there wasn't no. They weren't even old enough. They was what
nope.
Six Nips out. There
They
was
was young.
Santana. Okay.
Nope, they
There,
was young.
there was no Sam Smith.
Nope, they was all like toddlers at that time,
So
babies.
so that's how far. This is why I say Jezzo needs to come back, because you have something I don't have, is that old 10 to 11, 12-year archive that you could just restream and re-talk about it to this day
Yeah.
to a brand new audience. But I don't think JR would get any clicks and views. You can do a post like the fallen gay rappers, and you could do a whole show
I
about
wouldn't even I wouldn't even talk I wouldn't even talk about him. He's not relevant right now.
and so because he not
No shade, no
I don't,
shade,
I
no
don't
no.
even I don't even know if he posts on YouTube. I don't even know if he posts on Twitter.
Yeah,
I
like
just don't know.
honestly speaking, if his rhymes has not improved and they still the same as what they were 10 years ago, these kids today ain't listening to him. They don't care about him.
Oh, they will drag him now.
They would drag him.
Yeah. So I just going back to your archive, and I believe you have more videos than that probably saved.
Yeah. So I interviewed Drew Hill.
So you
I
need to
interviewed.
restream that. So my suggestion, oh, I'm a producer. I'm putting on my producer hat. All your old interviews, edit it and restream it to your YouTube. So when you come back in the summer, you're just coming back into what is in the rotation. So
Right.
get you back to get you at 1,000. I believe you're probably already qualified the watch time hours. And if not, if you put that out, you will have the watch time hours and do that. And then I would get a commercial and air that on your channel, your comeback, and all your old highlights. Include them all as much as you can and air
Hmm.
that for your rollout. I would think so, because you got a channel with all your old material in there.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
That's good. So when I brought Jezzo on, they said he need to be on Two Man and Lady, which that'll be great, because I'm bringing back that show next month, and then the summer. When is the summer? What, the summer start? When, in June? So when we
Yeah.
like that, you're introduced to a fan base that's going to be hungry for your return.
Yeah.
We doing that April, May, and see how successful it is, and then you can make your return back. And I love working with you because, number one, you're business minded. Number two, you know about work, and number three,
Thank you.
you known me when I back then, and you know me now.
Hmm.
I can work, and you know how I move. You know how controversial I can get. It's not a
Little Marquise has grown up.
so you already
little
know.
little Kesey grown up.
So it's really great. So Two Man and Lady, that's a show where I produce, where content creators come on and we talk about hot topics for an hour and all of that. Oh, there was no Todrick Hall either. There was no Todrick Hall. He didn't come out
No.
later. He wasn't even out either.
How do you feel about Todrick Hall?
I feel like he's a thief. I feel like he don't like to pay people. I feel like he does a lot of insurance scams. Every time somebody breaking in his house, and he don't like to pay his rent. Those are like the three cards that came to mind. What do you think about Taja Call?
um, to be honest, okay, so I watched that show, that WeHo show.
Yes.
I watched it. I love it. I like the show. I don't like Darren. Don't like him.
And we
Uh,
interviewed somebody, not to cut you off, they did a show called I forgot the name of the show, Real Hot Boys, okay?
mhm.
So I interviewed the producer of the show. He felt as though they copied their idea off of YouTube, the web series, and they put it on WeHo on that show. So I interviewed a whole show about that, but go ahead.
I don't. I mean, so Tajir Hall. Um, from watching the WeHo show, and he probably was acting, but I've grown to like him. I do believe that people do make mistakes. We don't know what his upbringing was. We don't know what kind of upbringing he had. Like if his mom really sat down and taught him the tools of life. Things of that nature. So sometimes people misbehave because they don't know no better. You know what I'm saying? Even as adults, sometimes we misbehave because we don't know no better. So I believe that maybe he's learned his lesson. Because have we heard anything recent of him doing something? I mean,
Yeah,
other
a couple of months ago, he didn't pay his rent, and they wanted to evict him. Like he was behind on his rent.
right, but then he
His backup singers, and then he said his house was broken into. But go ahead.
but didn't he pay? Didn't he buy the house or something like that?
No, he's still renting. They had to go to court. I don't even know the update on the court proceedings, but they was like, this man ain't paying his rent, and he got exposed because people thought, like I thought, that was his house that he got a
Yes.
mortgage, and the T came out. He's renting the house.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. I remember that. Well, one I would say he's ultra cute.
Of course.
Yeah, he's ultra cute, got a nice little body. But I've grown to like him from off the show. I'll say that. From what I've seen,
To a fan. But if you act these background
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan.
are you not a fan?
No,
Oh,
I'm not a fan. No, I'm
okay.
not a
Go
fan.
ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not
You making it seem like it was a fan.
No, I'm not a fan. No, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan.
Okay.
But I am a person who's willing to give a person a second chance. You know what I'm saying? If they mess up, then I'm willing to give you a little second chance. So I'm gonna give him a second chance. I'm not gonna be like everybody else trying to cancel him or whatever, can't because I don't really agree with cancel culture like that. So I think that maybe he has learned his lesson and he's trying to come around and he's trying to be a good person and do right or whatever. Maybe.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so he's
So
all right. He's all right. He's growing on me.
okay. You say he's growing on you
Yeah, he's growing on me.
because, and another thing, he had got into it with King of Reeds. Justin J. King of Reeds,
Hmm.
because they felt like all he date is white man. But I will tell you this, and I'm gonna say this, and I may get canceled. But I'm looking for my assistant and my media person to be white. I'm sorry.
But
Uh,
that's his preference.
that's my preference, right? If I
Yes.
find a black person or person or whatever, I want them to be Asian or white or whatever, to really take my show to that next level. So, because I understand some things that I'm lacking, the marketing piece to make sure more eyeballs and ears know about the Wiley Show. So I would invest and get like a white person to work for me. And so that's just my preference. But Tadra got, and I remember I was in Brandy place because Brandy concert she did at a club way back
Uh-huh.
in the day. My friend Prince L at the time, who was my friend, and his other friend, may he rest in peace. He had a club. He was a party promoter. So I
Hmm.
knew Brandy team, like one of her members of her team. I knew her. I knew him.
Hmm.
And Brandy was coming for the women's conference. And on that Saturday, I said, "Oh, you should book her to do a club appearance that night." They said, "Well, you don't know her." So I gave them a number. They got on the phone with the person. They made the deal. they booked Brandy at the club, and the club
Okay.
was packed. And one thing that I love about Brandy, when I had on my sunglasses, I said, "Oh, I'm hiding my eye," and she said, "Baby, be you. You if you want to wear sunglasses, do that, but don't do that because people are talking about that. God made you the way He made you." And so from that point on, I stopped really wearing sunglasses. I started to really, be in my skin. And another reason why I like Brandy, she took pictures with everybody that wanted a picture.
Mm.
Went outside and took pictures with anybody that wanted a picture. It was just that good. And it was so amazing. And that I would never forget. Went there for that event. And the only time I miss and I wish I would have had everything on the hard drive. Now I download all my videos and everything now.
As you should.
As I should now. So now
Hmm.
but back then I wasn't thinking about that. And then when the king with the gay rapper, the king of gay rap, JR, when he deleted that stuff, all of that footage was gone, and it was just so sad. Now they do say ain't none really deleted off the internet. Okay, we'll bring it back then. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right about that. Yeah, I mean, once you put something on the internet, it's always going to be there.
So, and so I guess whenever I run for office or something like that, they come through. But I'm so glad that we are here and having these conversations with Jezzo because number one, you understand the business. You got so many ideas, so many opinions. You're very opinionated, and I love work. I don't have to force you to talk. You ready? When I
Yeah,
you ready.
I'm opinionated. Yes.
You're very opinionated, and I love that spirit and that drive. And so I can't wait to Jezzo come back in the summertime.
Yeah.
I think you're really going to take over because you already got the knowledge, understanding. And can you edit? I was looking at some of your stuff that you edit. So do you know how to edit?
Yeah, I edit all my videos. Well, let me not. In the beginning, I edit all of my videos, and then once I started interviewing, like going out and start interviewing people, I had hired an editor. So
Yes.
yeah, so I know how to edit. Yeah, I
So
do.
you
I know how
got,
to
you
edit.
got your skill set. So you always
Yeah,
so
edit, produce, all of that stuff.
he yeah,
Record, all of that. Yeah.
okay. He'll be back this summer. So thank you, Jess.
You're
Make sure
welcome.
subscribe,
Thank you.
Jess Frost. Subscribe to
Yes.
the show. I'm gonna drop your link in here as well so
And
people
thank and
know.
let me just say thank you to your followers, your support. Because you remember I told you before, I don't like to use the word fans.
Yes,
I don't
I call them
I hate,
producers.
yeah, I hate using that word fans because the word fans to me sounds like you're a fanatic, you're a crazy person. You know what I mean? So I like to say my friends or supporters or my
Not
fans. You
just
know what I mean?
supporters. Yes, I've always
Right.
I call I name my audience the producers, like Wendy Williams call her co-host. I said we do.
Yeah.
So I call them the producers. They are my supporters. I never use the word fans. I've never used.
Yeah, I hate that word.
I use supporters or my producers. Yes.
So I want to shout out to all your producers because they've been so nice to me and so kind in the comments. They haven't ragged me for
Yes.
filth.
And
So
that's a lot to say about the producers because I had plenty people that get dragged for filth. Like people stop dealing with me. This is a true story. It was a person called Dre Simber. He called Dre Simber. He's a rare reality series person on rare reality.
mhm.
He stopped coming on the show because the producers was dragging him. He could not take it. I mean,
Really,
in the chat, criticizing him. I mean, this chat can get brutal. And he started cussing people in the chat. And every time I send a request to bring him back on the show, he say no because he said, "quote Your people don't like me."
well, listen. When it comes with the business. You know what I mean? When you become a public figure, it comes with the business. You're gonna have people that's gonna like you. You're gonna have people that's not gonna like you. You have to have thick skin to be in this business. So, I mean, like I said earlier, when I was doing the YouTube back in the days and doing my radio show back in the days, people used to always get at me for my teeth. You know what I mean? And at the time, I didn't care. It didn't bother me. You know what I mean? But as I got older, I was like, you know what? I'm going to fix my teeth. But I'm going to fix my teeth for me. But I maintained that thick skin and didn't care about what anybody else said. I'm gonna still do me because while you ragging about my teeth, you still watching, you still coming, you still paying attention. You get what I'm saying? So he don't have thick skin. Is what
You
I'm saying.
I have thick skin. I've been in this business for over a decade.
Yeah,
And
you gotta have thick skin.
you have to, if you don't, they will eat you up.
Listen,
Okay.
listen, Wiley. You come from Chicago. I come from New York.
Right.
Anybody that comes from Chicago and live in New York, we gotta have thick skin.
Absolutely. You have to
We have to. When you come from a big city like New York and Chicago and LA and Philly, you gotta have, and you from the hood at that,
the hood.
you gotta have thick skin. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yes.
The
So
way the way we was raised and the way we was brought up, it trained us and prepared us for where we at right now.
yes, I agree with you on there. It was another DJ out of New York. I don't know if you know him, and I hope I say his name right. DJ Sway, but it's Sway Rivers. Did I say his name right?
Swanee.
Yeah, Swanee Rivers. Yes.
Yes, that's my guy. I love him. He lived not too far from me too.
So
Love him.
Swanee Rivers, I've been knowing him. It was just something about New York because when I did my radio show on Blog Talk Radio, I was so connected with the Blog Talk Radio DJs, and most of them was in New York. And we met up.
Yes.
I connected with Swanee, and I gotta connect with him. Do you have his info? Like, I gotta bring.
No.
Oh, I can. Okay, let me see if I can find him.
He's. I mean, you can look him up, Swanee Rivers, on social media. He's on social media.
I haven't seen him. Let me see. I haven't seen this guy. It's so okay. I got it right here.
You see him?
Yeah, I see him right here on Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my guy. I love him. He is so nice. He is one of the coolest people that you can meet. I feel like you gotta have him on. You gotta have him on because let me tell you something about Swanee Rivers. Swanee Rivers worked with a lot of industry people. Swanee Rivers produced a lot of music for a lot of artists that we listen to every single day.
Wow.
And a lot of the old school artists, like way before he started producing for the LGBT community, Swanee Rivers was producing for mainstream artists. So he's very talented and he has stories for days. So you definitely got to get him on your show.
Definitely, because I remember that because now that our show is where it's at, I want to go back to people that helped me at that one point because I remember my friend Jaquez, may he rest in peace. Swanee interviewed him because at that time I wanted to be a manager. So we were shopping around his song and we connected with Swanee, and Swanee was giving us suggestions. And Swanee brought, Jaquez on the show. And so he just came in my index. And this industry is small. So, and New York is very heavy. And you're talking about music, media. New York is on the list. And the only reason why Chicago would have been on the list back in the day is because of Oprah. Oprah was in WGCI. Like Oprah was
right.
Imprint of really bringing artists to Chicago, A-list artists, right?
I'm mad. I'm kind of mad at the city of Chicago for that. They allowed them to knock down that building, Harpo Studios, and I feel like they should have made that into like a museum or something like that. You know what I mean? That should have been deemed as a historic building because it should have.
I agree with you.
It's apartment buildings now, correct?
Yes, they made a part of it.
Yeah. Yeah, they should have made Harpo Studios a historic building and turned it into a museum.
Because I've never out of been Chicago, and I regret it now going to Harpo Studios just visiting.
Really?
Because it was in Chicago. Like I was young when Oprah was out. Man, I was like a teenager.
Your mama didn't go to Oprah?
One of my family members went. My grandmother went to Oprah's restaurant. And this is why it's good to talk to senior citizens. Like,
wait, she had a restaurant?
She had a restaurant in the 80s. So I'm like, is my grandma telling the truth? So I researched she had like a restaurant. Oprah had a restaurant back in the day. Because Oprah her people that she was taking care of, they went to Oprah restaurant. I didn't know that. And my was Joe Lewis, manager, wife, caregiver, like something like that. And so I'm gonna go back home and like get some more stories from my grandmother because she's 88 years old and she got a lot of tea. So she told me that because she was just talking. She said, Oprah. I said, Grandma, Oprah had a restaurant. She said, yes. And so when you Google it, she actually had a restaurant. So,
you know who restaurant I wanted to go to in Chicago back in the days? Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan. I never went there. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Michael Jordan, and it used to always be. I have a couple of friends. My grandmother actually went there with one of her people that she took care of because they had the money. That restaurant was pretty pricey. So
Yeah.
also
And that steakhouse was the spot back in the day.
as a spot, like it was very like that's when you made it. You were like,
Yes.
let's go to Michael Jordan restaurant. So I think a lot of artists they started getting out of restaurant business because number one, it's very expensive for the upkeep. Number two, you got to be on it. You know what I'm saying? And like the recession said, and then a lot of times these people they want to do it for a season and they want to get out of it. But
Hmm.
I do miss that restaurant. And let's go back to it. Like WWE, they had a restaurant in New York. Like, you
Yes.
know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I never was able to visit that restaurant. You remember that? I believe they was on what was that? What was
42nd Street.
yeah, so that was the iconic area in New York.
Matter of fact, right now I believe it's the Hard Rock Cafe now.
Okay. So you remember
Hmm.
that. So
Yes.
that's why your show is going to be different than a lot of the competitors because you can go back to, I remember back in the day. You can go back in the back.
Yeah, I'm a dinosaur.
You know what I'm saying? And you're still young. You're not 84. You in your 40s. So
I'm
you just in your,
43.
you know what I'm saying?
I'm a dinosaur.
And many people start getting their shows. They don't even get their shows to in their 50s. How old is the one that took Wendy? I didn't say she took it, but she took advantage of the situation. Um, what's her name?
She inherited Sherry Shepherd.
Yeah, Sherry Shepherd. Ain't she like in her 50s?
Yeah, she's in her
So
50s.
and she got her show. So you still got time. You're still early. So we would love to see it.
I mean, and she's nothing but a comedian that has a talk show. That's what she is.
And to have a talk show. And so her
Yeah.
show is different. And but the look at the experience she brought, the view, her acting and everything.
Yeah.
But we can go on and on because when I get Jezzo, I get so many ideas. I get so many ideas after more. But I will be right back, you guys. We're gonna be talking about Nicki Minaj, and if Jezzo is up, we're gonna have him on to talk about it
All
because
right, I'll come
we
back.
want him to be so comfortable. So when he come back, the viewers come. So if you are not subscribed to Just Show Frost, go hit that subscribe button right now and subscribe.
Thank you.
Got a lot of old videos, and I would love for you to bring me on your show. And now that you're
I
in New York,
will.
I want to go because I want to do a live show in New York. So you can tell me like what's a good venue. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You actually in New York. So
Okay.
I would love for you to be like one of the special guests when I do a live taping of a show because I do want to be a talk show host, but in order for them to see my series,
You and me both.
yes, I want us to have a venue, bring guests, tape it, and shop it around, and you can tell me how to shop it around because you're in New York and stuff like that. So we are definitely going to be doing that. Jezzo, y'all, make sure y'all go
Thank
subscribe.
you.
So,
Thank you. And thank you, producers. I'm humbly appreciated
yeah,
appreciative of the compliments and the
they give you,
applause.
I'm telling you, they give you great compliments, and that speaks to
Thank
your
you.
character. You come in the door humble. You come in the door with experience. You come in the door entertaining, and you're not even showing your face. Your
Yeah, cause
voice.
yeah, cause
You're used to radio, and that voice you grab my attention is just your voice and what you're
thank
saying and
you.
what is on point. You come from that Wendy Williams, Swanee Rivers. What's the other host? Oh my gosh, she's on YouTube right now. Can't think of sis name, but you come from that era.
Yeah, I study. It's crazy because I study not far as not school wise, not academically, but I studied newscasters. You know what I mean? Like I watched, and even to this day, like I study newscasters and I watch how they talk and how they conduct themselves, how they hold up their posture and how they pronounce words and stuff like that. How they like prepare for their newscast. Like I like to watch docuseries and documentaries on news programs and news shows and stuff like that. So I study news. So that's what I feel like that's what makes me different from a lot of the other people.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna drop his channel in my right now. I'm gonna drop it in here so you all can follow him. So give me a second because I have it right now, you guys. All we ask is you please click the link and subscribe. It is free to do. I'm going to drop it one
Thank
more
you.
time in there. And this is genuine. This is real love. And I never would have thought that I would be here in this position talking to somebody and then you're still here in this
Thank
business.
God.
It's a pleasant to see someone that's started a little before you still here and that you can go and have those conversations. Thank you so much, Jezzo.
I'm excited to be I'm excited to be talking to a star. You a star. You better
I
stop
know you
playing.
just said that. I
You
always
was
bring me down though.
no. You better stop playing.
Because if you say I'm a star, oh Wiley changing, he changing, he's
No,
changing.
you a star. Listen. You getting mentions and stuff like that on other people's podcasts. You doing reality shows. You got a barber flying in to cut your hair and
Oh
stuff
no.
like that. You's a star. You better stop. Next, you're gonna be telling us he got a Bentley sitting outside in front of his house or something like that. You better stop.
I'm just so honored to have you here, Tiffany Young. Subscribe. So she's subscribed.
Thank you, Tiffany. I humbly thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so I'm loving it. Thank you,
All right.
Jezzo, for coming on.
Okay, and then I'll be back on.
Okay,
When you come back up.
okay, all right. Thank you.
All right.
Okay. Are you doing a meet and greet in Atlanta when you attend the award show? Yes. I'm gonna have to find a venue. That's a good question, Q. Chucktown QT. I will do a meet and greet in Atlanta when I'm in Atlanta. We need to find a restaurant. It could be a McDonald's, a Burger King. If you're in Atlanta, you guys, let me know where we can go. We can go to a restaurant. We go to a restaurant. We can go to a bar. Wiley Show Production at gmail.com. I do want to do a meet and greet when I'm in Atlanta. Yes. Because I will be there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, leaving Monday. So let me know, you guys, if you have any ideas where we can go for in Atlanta. Wiley Show Productions at gmail.com. It was a restaurant we went to. Let me call her right now. Give me a quick second. I need y'all to like the video. Let me call her right if she's up. Give me a second. I need y'all to like the video. Would Jezzo be on 2 Minute Lady? Yes, he could be on 2 Minute Lady. I have to check his schedule. If he's available to do 2 Minute Lady, I will let him do 2 Minute Lady if he's available because he's very consistent. Yes, if he's available, yes. I don't know. She probably sleep. I'm calling somebody because it was a restaurant me and Jay went to. I'm trying to see what was the name of that. It was really nice. So I want to go back there. If she answers, I'm gonna leave a voicemail. Okay, she sleep. So let me send her a text. What was the name? Restaurant we in ATL. Okay. Yes. All right. So yeah. So make sure y'all like the video. The likes, let me tell y'all, the likes really help us. I can't stress it enough. I don't say it enough. So I'm gonna start saying it enough. Okay. Towards the end. If you can like the video. Thank y'all so very much for that. We're gonna be right back on the show. In a few, and we're gonna be right back. Okay. I will see y'all in the next episode. Let me drop the link in here again because we are live. Give me a second. Thank you, Jezzo, for coming on. I'm going to drop it 1 second. In the name of it, we're going live in 20 minutes. So I'm going to drop the link one more time. Give me a second. I'm going to drop the link in here. One more time. I'm going to drop the link in here. Okay. There we go. I dropped the link in here. And I think we got it pinned. Okay, yeah, I got it. Okay, let me actually share the link with some people. Give me a second. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank y'all so very much. Go replenish your drinks. I'm about to go give me some wine because we about to get real messy. I will see y'all in about 10 minutes. Okay, 10, 15 minutes. We're going live. Okay. We're going live in 20 minutes, okay? We'll see y'all over there. When it comes to that, Jezzo, you need to get my number. Like, Jezzo, text me too so I can have your number, bro. Because my number, text me, Jezzo. Let me put the number on the screen here. And I give you my personal number, but this is my show number. I get the same thing. So give me a second. Let me send you this so you can text me so we can connect on the back end as well. So give me a second. All right. That's the number. So that's the number you could like text. And that's anybody that need to get in contact with me. All right. This was fun. Make sure y'all subscribe. This is a good show today. It's really, 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 really good. All right. Make sure y'all subscribe to the show. If you want to be notified when we go live, text Wiley to 888. Where is that at? To 534-4939. It is free to do. Text Wiley to 888-534-4939. All right. We will see y'all in the next video. Peace. Subscribe.